Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Morocco series. Let's dive straight into that map again and update. Let's take a look at the map again and see where we are. So currently we're in Merzouga, and we start out in Merzouga and we make our way off into the desert in a southwesterly direction towards Ouzina. So there's a mixture of off-road tracks and a little bit of road work initially out of Merzouga, and then it becomes very much offload into Ramlia. So following that deserty sandy valley here, as you can see where my mouse is scrolling, and from Ramlia we're into the Fesh seriously desert region here, all along that light yellow valley there. I think it's called the Dra River Valley. We're heading in a southwesterly direction still. You can see some of these big mountain top areas, and we come out for fuel in Tagounite. At Tagounite we stop for lunch, refuel. I think Mark has a double omelette and chips somehow. He manages that in a very small town, but anyway, well done. And then from there we head out towards Mohammed El Ghizlane, which is a beautiful little town, quite touristy, before you enter a serious off-road region called Lake Iriki National Park, and first you go through Erg Chegga desert area. So we camp just outside Mohammed El Ghizlane for the night, and then the next day we go into the Erg Chegga desert. That's heading way out into the desert here, lots of dunes, fresh, and we end up on a dried up lake where we hit, I think we hit 160 kilometers an hour across the dried up lake, flat out pinned, and then it goes back into a mountainous type region into Foum Zeguid, and that's where Foum Zeguid we agreed to meet up with Nigel again. So quite a lot of ground to cover, a big desert region, very hard tracks, and this was the hardest section of the whole trip, so let's get into it.
Oh, the control. I was like, what control? There's no control.
So we'd got through the slight road section out of town from Merzouga to get out into the desert now, and we're into the off-road, so I spared you that boring road sections, but we're into it now, going past Ouzina, heading towards Ramlia. This section was definitely a real mix between, on the sides of the track it was that hard packed bumpy sort of floodplain type ground, or you could ride in more of the track area, which had turned to sort of a very soft powdery substance. So you had the choice. You could see cutting across lines and finding the best path in between the two, just to try avoid some of that really powdery stuff. This was a really weird sort of area. You can see it's just a old pan of some sort, but the road is sort of cut out as a groove into the pan. I wonder what's caused that. How is it so perfectly edged on the sides? I have no idea. I mean, possibly, obviously, just vehicles riding across it, but it looks like it's been dug out and graded. It was very unique. Lots of fun to ride and follow the bends and watch out for the soft powdery sand. Fascinating stuff. I think the correct words here are epic. This wasn't the big pan, but this was just before we got to Ramlia, but still epic. So as you can see, like I mentioned in previous episodes, we get deeper and deeper into the Sahara, and now we're way out in the desert. It's just the two of us. We don't see many people, and the sand now is absolutely relentless. There is no breaks from it. It is proper powdery stuff, and we are in deep. In deep is one way of putting it, but it's what we came for. It's the adventure. It's wild out here, and you got to pay attention at all times, and it's hot, tiring, hard work, and you've got to stay on it. But oh my gosh, it's a real adventure, and this is what it's about. This is absolutely what it's about. These bikes are made for it. Been going for a while. Done some fish this morning. Now we're into the rocky, arid stuff. Been going for hours. Taking energy gels, got lots of water with us. But you've got to take little breaks every now and again. Little did we realise as we were coming up this pass what we were about to see. It was, yeah, well, you'll see it in a second. It's incredible. we're about to enter a crater here. If you look right on the far edge, on the outside, those mountain tips in the far distance there are the edge of the crater. And we're just coming over a mountain pass here, entering on the other side of the crater. It was awe-inspiring to see this. And we later went down the mountain pass and rode across the plain. It took about 20 to 25 minutes to ride across the crater's plain itself. It was off the charts, unbelievable. We were awestruck. Whoa, look where we are. This is bonkers.
They're saying natural wonders in the world. Oh my God, this has got to be one of them.
This is bonkers. We're about to go down that pass there, all the way down there. Look at it. What a vista.
My God, spot on.
We're just coming into Tagounite here, on the outskirts, coming through town, about to pick up some fuel, have a rest, have a stop, find some lunch, chill out for about half an hour, 40 minutes, let our body temperatures come down, and then discuss what we're going to be doing for the remainder of the afternoon, because it was quite late in the afternoon by the time we got to Tagounite, and figure out where we were likely going to camp. Because wild camping was definitely what we wanted to do. The idea was to try get to Erg Chegga, so we were going to press on a little bit, and that's exactly what we ended up doing. After Mark had had a double omelette and chips. Here we are. Mark's got a rear puncture. He very kindly stopped in a bit. Let's caught the shade. So look at the mountain here. He's caught us a bit of shade. It's very considerate of him getting a puncture in such a beautiful spot. Let me go help him now, actually fix it. Or at least put it back together. He's fixed it. So we made to Erg Chegga, camped here at this spot for the night. We're both very tired. There'd been a couple of offs as we hit Erg Chegga, so we made a wise decision to stop and camp. It was quite cold at night. We gathered some firewood and we made a campfire to keep us warm. What's that? In the sand, in the desert again. Mark's over there somewhere. Got the fire. Look. Moon's up there in the desert. At the moment we're on Erg Chegga. It's a trail, famous trail in the Sahara. Lots of fish, soft sand. We'd been riding a long time today, and we just decided before it gets dangerous, pull over, put the tents up, have a cup of tea, get the campfire going. Yeah, why not? Why not? Lovely. The next morning we're up at sunrise, getting ready to go, nice and fresh for Erg Chegga, and the fish. Here we come.
So we are going quite a bit off to the left here on this track, but let me just check. Little joint back. Yeah, but this joint's back, so it looks quite used.
as you can see from this track, it's pretty soft sand, pretty rutted from the 4x4s, and deviating too much from the track is quite tricky. It's got like all these mounds and ground that's hard, so and you end up in the dunes, so you have to kind of stick to the track and just put up with this tough stuff, and this went on for hours, as you'll see. Mark and I are keeping a close eye on each other. We stop regularly, take a rest, take a break. Luckily it wasn't too hot this time of the morning, so we didn't overheat too much, or at least I can only speak for myself. Anyway, so we got through this section and we thought, oh, okay, cool, you know, we've done well. And you can see the ground starting to get a bit harder here in the clips. And the pace was able to pick up, and we thought, brilliant, that's Erg Chegga, we're done. Hey, we've nailed this. Little did we know, there was lots more fun to come. Oh my goodness, wait till you see it.
Morning, here we are, little stop for some water. Look at the dune field next to us here. We're heading into it. The distance there. There goes the track off into the dunes. Stunning. Stunning. Got to wendel through these dunes till there. Dale Special. Ooh, high five, fist bump with the Dale Special. Here we go. Oh, that was fucking awesome.
I need a drink.
That's pretty technical dudes.
I could do them all day long. Well, not all day, but...
It's turning this thing when it's so heavy.
You're down there, I'm up on the dunes. Fucking...
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
Wicked.
These are pretty soft dunes, as you can see, but over time and as the day went, because you're just in it and you're doing 3, 4, 5 hours of dune riding like this with a heavy heavily laden adventure bike, we actually got better and better and better at doing it, really. I mean, it's like anything, just practice and accepting that you're in it and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no other way around here, and you just got to crack on. So we really got into the flow of it, and I think it certainly, the enjoyment levels went up massively. And when you get eventually through this dune field, you realize that this is what it's about, and this is why we came, and this is why we did it. So we're super privileged to have the opportunity to go and ride trails like this. I was gobsmacked at times as to what we were doing. It was truly special for us. Funny moment there, Mark, coming over the dune, and it was a bit steeper some of the others, so he ended up having to bail a little bit. But I turned around, I came back, I helped him and got him out and no problem. So, and then we were able to crack on. So as you can see from this clip, we've just hit Lake Iriki. It's a dried up lake, and it's dead flat. I mean, yeah, there's some soft sandy bits, but oh my goodness, this was so much fun just to get up into 6th gear, twist that throttle and give it some beans. I'm navigating across the lake, as you can see, and this is hence the change of directions and stuff like that. And there are some vague tracks across the lake, but in a moment I'll show you a raw clip where you can hear the engines flat out in 6th gear. It was such a rush. I think at one stage when I looked down at my speedometer, I'd hit 160 kilometers an hour. That's 100 miles an hour across this dried up lake. What a rush. What a rush.
What the fuck?
No commentary required. Let's just listen to the engines and enjoy the action. After the lake was a stone desert, and then we came into Foum Zeguid, and the plan was to get fuel and rendezvous with our mate Nigel. We got the boys to fire up the braai again. We are now in Foum Zeguid, and we've just come off Lake Iriki. We found this little spot under the trees, and he got fired up the braai. Oh yeah. Only 2. It's a bit schnoop. Thank you for watching. This episode is done. We weren't done for the day though. There was a bit more riding to do. But we're very glad to catch up with our mate Nigel. He was feeling a lot better. he had had some time to recover the last couple of days, and we continue onwards in the next episode. So tune in. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.